Hey Aquarius, how's it going, my fellow Aquas? Welcome to Blue Mountains Tarot. This is your reading for the second half of September. Please keep in mind, general readings, you just take the messages that resonate for you, leave the rest behind. I do offer personal readings. If you're interested, just contact me below in the description box to set that up. There's Zoom meetings. And thank you guys for all of your support. Aquarius, you guys have been huge. You've been like pinnacle to my channel. And anybody else who's watching this, thank you so much in advance for all of your support. The amount of likes, shares, the subscriptions, your comments, there's donations. I can't thank you guys enough. So thank you. I appreciate it. There's your card, guys, Aquarius. That's popping up. I think that's happened in the last reading I did for you guys. A couple things I'm thinking, or when I was doing a bit of, pondering and meditating, I guess, on your reading here today. There's change coming through for you, Aquarius. I almost feel like some of you know it. You feel, you sense, there's change. You want change. I think you want to do something that's greater than what you're currently in. We can always improve. We can always get, a little more further down our spiritual path, our growth, whatever that may be for you. I feel like this is your destined future. It's your North Star. It's your purpose. Finding more about yourself. But I feel like the star card is showing us like there's things aligning in the world, in your life, that are going to show you some good change. And I feel like it's anticipation. It's you kind of know, or you sense that this is bound to happen for me. Okay. Some of you ask if, do I ever feel the same things I read for? And I try to keep it very separate. I don't always relate to the readings at all, but I'm definitely in a place of anticipation of change for the better, for the positive. But sometimes that can be a little bit nerve-wracking at the same time. It's exciting, or, thrill might be the right word. All right, so I think you guys have some stuff to look forward to, because the focus here is the star, which is you guys, Aquarius. Let's see what else is going on. Tell me some energy here for the sign of Aquarius, my fellow Aquas. Queen of Swords, very much Aquarian energy too. There you go, 10 of Cups. This is like great happiness. Things are about to change for the better. There's a lot of good things coming in. Definitely something with homes, like home life. Maybe moving. I feel like the star is finding home within ourselves, but also I feel like 10 of Cups can be improvements, healing, well-being, happiness, and sort of the home life. So some of you could be going through that, some change or something to look forward to. Okay, so maybe some of you are building a home, or you're looking forward to a new home, anticipating this big change. What's that going to bring? You're getting more serious now, Aquarius, and I feel like you've got to be prepared here to make decisions, to start calling out shots in life that are for your greater good, not for other people necessarily. So you may have to do some boundary or cutting something off. Maybe it's a job, maybe it's a person, maybe it's something where you're like, I'm gonna have to make the decision. But what I feel like, Aquarius, is like you might have some pending stuff in the background here. You might have a few pending scenarios, and it's like once those pending things come into like an offer to you, Aquarius, or when they come into more of like fruition, this is when you have to make a decision. So I feel like some of you are aware of the decisions that are to be made, and this is why I feel like some of you or you anticipate these changes, because you're like, as soon as this happens, I'm going to call that shot and move over here, or whatever that is, okay? There's also, this is a great release for you, Aquarians, because some of you are carrying around some burdens or some heavy energy, possibly even from other people. I feel like it's time to release and let go of that. Don't be afraid to ask for help along the way. So some of you may feel like you can do it all on your own with the star card at the top. I can do everything by myself, lone wolf energy. I often am like that a lot. but sometimes we have to group together, or we have to ask or lean on some people once in a while. Ultimately, Aquarius, don't worry, you can make the final decision. Okay, sometimes I think we like to be in control of the situations, or we like to make the decision, but you ultimately have free will, and you have you can choose exactly what it is you want or don't want. But I feel like don't be afraid to share or incorporate that with anyone else, or even just ask for a bit of someone to lean on or some help maybe. I just want to get clarity here on the 10 of Wands, please. 10 of Wands. Yeah, the Fool card. There you go. This new beginning, as I was saying with the 10 of Cups, it's like a great amount of joy and happiness. But I feel like you're on a new beginning where you're going to release a lot of old stuff. Part of this anticipation is getting rid of. So you're making moves, or you're anticipating, planning some moves to unload some stress. Okay, so maybe it's like I'm downsizing my house. I'm moving to a place that's more affordable, and I'll have more money at the end of the month for me. So you've got to be very clever at this time. You're thinking, you might be doing some, mathematical equations, and like, okay, which makes the most efficient sense? Where am I going to make the most money? How am I going to live the cheapest, or whatever this is? How am I going to save the most money? It's getting the most bang for your buck. It's getting efficient. Okay, you're lightening your load here so that you can go into a new beginning with a fresher, less stressful, less burdenous energy. Excuse me. So there's some purging maybe. Okay, we'll keep those. They flipped over. Wheel of Fortune with the Two of Pentacles. Okay, so like I said, life is going to show you some great changes. It's going to turn, the tides are going to turn in your favor, Aquarius, and it's going to provoke you to make some decisions here. So get ready, because you could be sort of, if option A happens, I'm going to do this. If option B happens, I'm going to do this. But ultimately, you've got to figure out what it is you're going to do. And there's some good things coming for you. There's some really good change here. This is better luck. Sometimes life makes these decisions on our behalf in a way. I don't know of an example of that, but sometimes you don't have to make decisions, or you don't have to go back and forth. It kind of lines it up. It's like it's like divine perfection almost. It's like everything in divine order. It's almost like, wow, I didn't have to do anything. It just happened. I just showed up. So definitely there is some decisions here that you're going to consider and figure out. Again, I feel like some of you are like, it's like this energy of like, I can't wait to see when this change happens in my life. Can't wait for my manifestation process to show me. I can't wait for life to show me what's next, because you have this sense of confidence. You have a knowing, Aquarius. That's our motto. Like, we know, we know. This is this thing that we're like, I know something good's coming for me. I know something's going to change. And I feel like some of you are sort of saying, I can't wait for this to show up because I get to choose what it is I want. So you almost know that life has to change. And I think it's coming in for the better. You've got the Wheel of Fortune, 10 of Cups, Star card. You got some great changes here, guys. Okay. What else do we have for Aquarius, please? You guys want some love? Should we do a little bit of love life? Let's try that out. Why not? I'm curious. What's going on in the love department for Aquarius, please? Let's get into love. The Tower? Okay, and maybe sometimes life shows us that endings are going to take place whether we like it or not. Don't know if this was a good path to go down, guys. The Tower with the 5 of Wands. So there is something that ends here that causes a little bit of conflict amongst other people. I want to get clarity on the Five of Wands when it comes to love here. What is this? This is confusion as to, you could be confused as to why something has ended, but maybe other people tried to tell you this or warn you, and you're like, no, you guys are all wrong. And then it's like, now they're like, you know, Queen of Wands. Why the Queen of Wands? Love. Nine of Wands. It's like you knew better, Aquarius. I'm getting a couple of energies here. Like, it's almost like the Queen of Wands with the Nine of Wands is saying, I'm persevering right to the bitter end, or I'm so close to something here. Like, you're very certain or confident. Your confidence is quite strong here. You're willing to take something on in a relationship. And I feel like other people could be causing like a distraction, or they have negative opinions or advice or whatever that may be. But I feel like you're so certain, or you know better, but you are willing to take it. It's almost like the worst of it's over. I'm just going to hang on until I see the like a new start. But there's conflict surrounding this, and there's something that's going to be ending, or it has ended. What's the outcome here for this particular situation, please? What's the outcome? Well, there's this Tower. I feel like this is done, but the High Priestess. Yeah, you knew better. You knew better, Aquarius, about something coming to an end. You weren't listening to your gut, and now other people are they're all either, there's confusion, there's this thing about, I think our pride, you know, there could be a little bit of pride in the way here, Aquarius, where you're like, nope, I'm gonna make this work, or I'm not, you know, there's a bit of pride, or someone that's saying like, I'm gonna push through to the end. It's almost like, it's like you're marathoning it, and then at the end of the marathon, you collapse to the floor because you're dehydrated. It's this kind of energy of like, you probably should slow down or stop when you need to. You should probably consider like checking in with your limits. And I feel like the High Priestess is saying like, you know the truth, but because it wasn't presenting itself to you so black and white, you're like, nope, I'm going in with the gray zone. I'm taking the gray, and anything could be what I want it to be. But I also feel like the High Priestess is like, it's, you know, she steps back and reevaluates and looks at something, you know, to try to understand why the answer is that, or why something ended, or it's taking a step back and looking. But I feel like you kind of knew this, and ultimately the weird thing, or it's like you're going to be set free from this. The benefit with you, Aquarius, is that you can easily detach and walk away from it, from, I don't want to say home wrecking, but there's a bit of damage here. You seem to get away with, you know, scot-free, but you may leave behind a little bit of a mess in a situation here with other people causing conflict. Again, I'm chuckling because I'm like, your pride, or you're like, I don't want to say don't be selfish, Aquarius, but be considerate at this time of what mess you leave behind you. Okay? It's like the High Priestess to me is like, I didn't do anything wrong. You know, I gave it my all. I put in all of my energy. I gave this right to the very end. I put in a lot of effort in this. So I'm very much worthy of what I get in this relationship. But if it doesn't work out, and that whole situation flops out and it's a mess, like you feel like scot-free because you're like, well, I had just as much involvement and I did just as much effort. So I got nothing else to, I got nothing else to say. Like, I don't have to fix up. Damage control is what I'm getting. Okay? It's like you went in there, that Queen of Wands, like went in there with the flames, like ripped it all up and caused a bunch of stir. And then you're like, not my problem anymore. But I feel like intuitively you knew, you know better. Okay, I got that before that High Priestess came out. You knew that something wasn't worth playing in that sandbox, or that, you saw the eruptions forming, and then boom, tower moment, it all falls out and you're free. You're like, I can detach, and I don't really, there's a detachment here. Okay? Hopefully that helps or makes sense, gives clarity. Trust your intuition all along, Aquarius, with that High Priestess. Always listen and be fair to yourself and others. Okay? Because I feel like with the Nine of Wands, the pride, you could have been ignoring your intuition. You put yourself through a lot of damage for no reason at all, only to know that the tower was going to be bound. Okay? It was bound to come. So trust your intuition and listen to that and follow through with it for your benefit, for your well-being, and for the well-being of other people. Because this could have been a behavior you've done in the past, or you could have already learned this lesson. So we do make mistakes and we do things without realizing because they're the first time around. But if you do them again and again, you might not have learned that lesson, and it might come to bite you in the ass one day. So be aware of that. Okay. I'm just going to get some closing cards here. A little mix for you guys of everything, but let's see what we get for closing out. What else does Aquarius need to know? Is there any other information or healing advice and guidance for Aquarius? Knight of Wands, okay. Okay, Queen of Wands was there. I feel like in life, sometimes Aquarius, I want to just clarify one sec. Why the Knight of Wands? Who? Why? The Chariot. Yeah. You have this anticipation right now of like knowing that life is doing all these great things and it's doing its thing and you're waiting, right? But if it comes to a relationship at this time, like I said, this scenario that just took place, it's kind of like wait for it to come for you. Wait for someone to come towards you, to present to you, because I feel like you have the ability to engage and disengage and engage or detach a little bit easier than other signs. Not always, but generally. And so I feel like with the Chariot, it's this Cancer energy as well, which is the emotions, it's the intuition, it's following your gut feelings, but also like focus on the things in life that you want to pursue and your goals and the purpose and the passion. It's almost like the Star card is adjacent right to they're lined up with the Chariot, like your bullseye, like your target in life, or your sort of where you see yourself in the next X amount of years or months or whatever, and your purpose, and stay kind of on your tracks. Like try not to get swayed off. This is saying like stay focused, because you could have a tendency now to kind of run off and sort of get passionate about maybe it's relationships or something in life that may take you off like your greater purpose. That's why I say like maybe allow for life to also show you who is meant to come into your life and who's going to sort of show up the same way that you might show up for somebody, because you may give more than you are receiving. And I feel like, it's like this energy here of like, I gave a lot, I put all my all into that. So there's like maybe a little bit of righteousness or that pride of saying like, that's not on me anymore. But, we also put ourselves in these situations often. So allow for the focus of your path and not to get distracted off your path, okay? Some water. Wisdom of the Tao message. Let's see what we get for you guys. Yeah, like it's almost like don't walk into situations here and either fight for or cause conflict or stir when you know it's bound to come to an end. Okay, it's kind of like Don't go into a job that you know is on the rocks of bankruptcy. What's the point? You know, you're going to get all caught up in this mess that's only going to fall out. Okay, so that's just an example, but it's kind of like, you know, do you want to go into a fix-me-upper? Do you want to go into a house that's falling down? Or do you want to go into a well-structured, well-built house? Unless you're willing to take that challenge on, because once you get behind the walls of people and the house, you find all kinds of things. You find all kinds of problems that amount to bigger things. So it's kind of like, be careful or be cautious of what project you take on with people or things. Keep going. Perplexing conditions can't stop you from learning and growing. The reality that you feared may not exist. You are moving in the right direction, even if it seems to be taking longer than anticipated. You've got the power. So I feel like that's the Chariot. Just keep moving forward, guys. Keep going. Keep going on where you're going. And this is the Star card, you know, your purpose. Keep following your purpose and your dream here. Yeah, simple as that. Pretty simple, straightforward. All right, Aquarius, have a great day, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed that. Thanks again for all of your support, your likes, shares, all that. Have a great day, and I'll see you guys soon. Take care.